Hello everyone, welcome back to Toy Story 2. My name is Dario. In the last part, we took care of the shadows to the left in elevator hop, and now we're in Al's penthouse. Any second now. There we go. The gang is reunited. Woody invites all the toys to go home with him, but Prospector has other plans. The Prospector wants to be on display. He never wants to be played with a child. He foils Woody's plan to prevent him and prevents him from going. Al packs up the Roundup toys and leaves for the airport. And despite leaving for the airport and being able to run after him, Buzz decides to run around and have some fun in his apartment while he's gone. Good job, Buzz. Woody's forever lost in Japan. After much deliberation and thoughts, I'd have to say that this is probably one of my most favorite levels. There really isn't a lot I have wrong with it. Like, I love the music, I love the layout. So much I love about this level. It's a very uniquely designed house, or, you know, apartment. And, I don't know, I just can't get enough of it. And I can't wait to show this level off. So, first thing we're going to start off with is that if we climb up this little rodeo course in here in the living room without getting hit too much, we're going to collect much needed coins that we're going to need later. But we also get to swing upon these lamps, which it's funny because I remember watching this, or I remember playing this after, like, you know, watching the movie and stuff like that. And Al's penthouse didn't look like this. Don't lie to me. But, I mean, I don't care anyway, just because I just love how it's laid out. And so these are critters. This is going to be the collectible for the level. We need them for Jesse. It's actually a pretty extensive penthouse. And, okay, so here's something I want to point out. There's a couple things I want to point out. Actually, I lied. There's a lot of things I want to point out in this level. So, in every other instance we've seen these things, you needed the disc launcher. But for some reason, now you don't. I don't understand it. Why in this level you can just shoot it without, you know, unlock, you know, break the lock. Jeez. But I don't know. So yeah, this is where we bring the critters once we're done with them. Kind of similar to, you know, Andy's house. This is the only other level in the game that, you know, is somebody's home. But it still is pretty fascinating to see. Just, I mean, even though we've seen some of these obstacles before, they just are ultimately very cool looking. You know, even though I can't imagine the slob that Al McWhiggin is, like, living in a nice, really nice apartment like this. I don't know. I just can't stop gushing about the level. I love, like, looking out the window here. There's a bunch of windows that look out into the skybox. But, like I said back at the construction yard, I can't help but just look at it and still be like, you know, oh, like, I wonder what's out there. I don't know. There's, like, so much to say. I can't even. And I know I sometimes probably repeat myself, and I know that I stutter. Oh, gee. Okay, really? That's ridiculous. Anyways, as I was going to say, my commentary I know isn't the best, and I've known it over the years. I do get, you know, I definitely am better than I was before, but the issue I come across that I've seen is that there's just a lot I want to say, and I guess I just want to give a forewarning that there's so much I want to say in this level. So many things I find, like, very cool and awesome and unique and interesting, and it's just like constantly rushing through my head, and there's so much I just have to say and want to say. That's why I end up just getting tongue-tied a lot. The music in this level is, as I said, my favorite. I don't know why. It just has like a western it's like a rustic western type music. I can't even describe it, but I just love it. So yeah. Anyways, I'll stop gushing about it. I've already said this is like my favorite level. This level is pretty complex. Here, let me go through it again. Bullseye has a... okay, that's not what I'm looking for. You can get to the token on top of the train bed if you solve the train puzzle. You need to get the train to stop on the dead end track. You can change the track's points using the yellow switches. So that's probably one of the more complex puzzles in this game. And we'll take care of that right now just to get it out of the way. And okay, this doesn't help my theory about how much of a creepster Owl is. Why the hell does he have a toy bed? Does he sleep in here? Like, what a creep, what a weirdo. Another kind of interesting point is that these cowboys over here actually used to be banditos. And they actually, so this proves that this was a later copy of the game. I'll just call it 1.1. I don't know if there's an official version number, but the original version of these cowboys were banditos, like, you know, the Mexican banditos. And that's actually one of the more notable things in this game's history, is that there actually was a protest outside Activision's headquarters, you know, portraying, you know, because they didn't like the stereotype of, you know, Mexicans being portrayed that way. Even though, honestly, I mean, you know, when you think about it, it's like Westerns, banditos, like, I mean, they go hand in hand. Like, I don't really think it was a negative thing. That's just, you know, how they were portrayed in Westerns. And given this whole level has, like, a Western theme with the music and everything, like, I don't know. But either way, it got changed to later versions, to the version you see now. So the reason I went through all that dialogue with Rex was just to show you this puzzle. You have to get the train track to basically come into this, as you'll see. Any second now. It's on its way. A little Thomas the Tank Engine, a little engine that could. You have to hit the train tracks, like, you have to hit the switches along the way so it reaches the dead end. And what ends up happening is that the bed lowers, so that way you can, you know, just jump on top and reach it. You could do all that, or you could just reach over and miss like I did. If you actually time it just right. Wow, like, this is actually really easy to do, and I'm messing up the little segue I was doing. You could actually just reach it like that. No problem. What does this do? Oh, it kills that thing. You'll notice there's a bunch of switches in these levels that kill those cannons. That's my third one so far. I really kind of find it pointless to do. I mean, it just saves you the trouble of having to deal with them later. The other thing it does is... No, that's pretty much it. It just makes it so they don't shoot at you. The only other problem is, though, is that it doesn't save. Like, obviously, I mentioned that before. So yeah, as you can see, there's really this whole long puzzle you got to do and hit the switches and switch them. I was going to show it off. It's going to take forever, so let's just screw it. I got the token. I've actually done it before. It's not too difficult. It's just kind of time consuming, and it's not very challenging. From what I remember, you kind of have to run along the track and basically just hit the switches along it. And as I said, the bed lowers like a considerable amount. Why Owl has his bed tied to the train system, I have no clue. I already mentioned before, this guy's kind of a creep. This game made him out to be like a bigger creep than he was in the movie, which is kind of a fascinating feat. So now we get into the real meat and potatoes of this level. This is the room from the actual movie. Like, gotta give, once again, props to Traveler's Tales. They put in a lot of things from the movie, like the stand, for example. And we'll see as we get up there the little cases that Woody, Prospector, and Jesse Bullseye were in. And it... I don't know what else needs to be said. They're just so great at their job. I'm not funny. But this is when the game starts getting a little bit difficult. You notice all the enemies we're running across right now. There's a butt ton of them, whether they're flying, jumping, bouncing, whatever. And if we jump in this little diorama over here, we run into the boss of this level, the Gunslinger. Who, for all things considered, he's actually really easy. I say as I keep getting hit. I don't know what is wrong with my timing right now. But basically you just have to time it. Okay, you know, this must be like the game, like, this is like the Let's Play curse, where you try to do something, show it off, and you just, for some reason, can't seem to get it. There we go, we got him. Once again, I don't remember him from the movie, but...
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command.
You know.
Come in, Star Command.
So that is our second token, I think. Now, I don't think you can get up here. You probably could if you jumped more, but I'm not going to bother with it. But this is where the game starts getting, as I was saying, a little bit more annoying because of all the enemies we have to constantly run and like deal with. And it wouldn't be that big of an issue, but they respawn. So that's really where the issue of the game lies in. Because you're constantly just having to kill enemies over and over again just to like pick up this one critter, come back, and whatnot. Oh, I forgot. Bullseye, So this gives you another little excuse to run around this cool living room to find these various tokens. I don't think any of them are in too crazy of places. They're usually just on the ground. I think that's the highest one. The only problem is they kind of blend in, as you can see. And I think the last one is back this way. Crap. Oh, where was the last one at? I'm gonna check that table. Maybe it's on the table or something. But it's funny trying to imagine this, like, I always do this, trying to imagine like this layout, like actually like being a livable environment. Like, cause look how small that goddamn TV is. That TV is like the size of like a football. Like, how the hell are you gonna watch anything on that? I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Oh, are you serious? And wait a second, I just realized Bullseye was talking to us. Alright, let me make a circuit. That's probably what my issue is, because that's actually a really strict time limit. You barely just have enough time to get all the horseshoes. Alright, we got it. Now, if you believe it or not, we actually have not seen all of the level yet. There's still one more hidden area, and it's behind this door right here. We can't exactly get through it, but through the magic of, I guess, our laser just somehow being strong now, you can shoot that off and get right through. But yeah, seriously, look how, like, Buzz Lightyear is bigger than this TV. Like, imagine sitting on a huge couch. You know, I'm going to show this off real quick, actually, because this is a very important point. Like, imagine, like, your fat ass sitting right here trying to... Like, look at that. The fireplace is, like, in this view is bigger than this TV. I don't know. I just can't get over that. And also, what the hell is this painting supposed to be? And also, who the hell puts a floor lamp on top of the entertainment center? And who has... I mean, while we're at it, might as well rant about everything. I mean, who the hell has, like, what is with this... Like, is this entertainment center, like, built into the wall? Like, why is there an open vent here? I'm not, like... Okay, like, half of those things were, like, serious criticisms. But it's just... like I said, I always just find it amusing. Just the layout of this level. But yes, this is the last area of the level. It's the bathroom. So this one can be a little bit tricky because I guess instead of turning the faucets like a normal human being, Al decided just to install a bunch of switches everywhere that raise the water level like to an absurd amount. So his whole like apartment just gets flooded at this point. And you think that's bad. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Watch this. You get another button right by the sink here. look at this. We're like getting past the toilet in terms of the water level. I really want to meet the person who came up with this token on like how to or this particular part of the level. Like, it's just incredibly amusing to me. And we have one last switch here that it's literally Water World for toys. Like, look at this madness. We filled his bathroom almost to the ceiling with water. And why did we do all this? What was the point, you may ask? Well, honestly, just to get one last critter. So you want to see some also kind of amusing? So we're just going to jump in and see how much water damage he has in his apartment. And conveniently, it all just gets ejected. I really wish it was possible to like just walk through the wall and see if the apartment gets flooded. I doubt it is, but it's amusing nonetheless. The demo disc they had for this game, on like, because back then games came on demo disc, as you know, like in magazines, or you had to pick them up at game stores. It only originally just had the first level, Andy's house, on the disc, but looking through it like on the computer and stuff like that, they actually have like the beta elements of this level where it's not even fully filled out yet, but they at least had this level planned like since the beginning. And the reason I bring that up is that I find it interesting that they pretty much designed a whole bathroom, like put in the models and colored it and did all this stuff just to have a critter in there. So I really feel like this level had a lot more plan to it, and they just kind of cut it down, just, you know, simple stuff. I could be wrong, I don't know, it feels like a very big level for a few things, but then again, Elevator Hop was exactly the same way.
Infinity and beyond.
So I kind of cheated, as I said, because I quickly just jumped to get that Pizza Planet token on top of the train bed, but you know what? Ever since I found that trick out, I was so happy I never had to do it again. Or, you know, never had to do it the legit way again, because it takes so much time to do it. Maybe I'll show it off when I get a chance sometime. So, that's Al's Penthouse, and as you know, usually after 2 levels we have to do a boss. Can you guess who it's gonna be? That's right, the evil Emperor Zurg. I remember this guy being a doozy to fight. But before Buzz and the gang can pursue Al, they are confronted by Zurg. So this is the first boss of the game that you cannot hurt with your laser. He is completely impervious to it. So you have to do your whack attack with your wings. And this is actually quite a difficult boss to fight, just based on the way he, like, his movement pattern. Look how, like, dizzy this is. But overall, it's a pretty cool boss, I suppose. It never made sense to me in the sense, like, because if I jump off, like, I'll lose a life. Like, all of a sudden, Elevator Hop, like you saw earlier in the Elevator Hop, like, I jumped from the top of the building straight down to the bottom and he's fine. But if I do it again now, like, he just dies. I don't get it. I basically just, yeah, I should have showed that instead of trying to say it. So, kind of a disorienting boss. I read that this boss is actually impossible to defeat on PC, or impossible or really difficult to defeat based on his movement pattern. He never comes down at a certain point. So, they screwed up there. So, we almost got him. No, Father.
Infinity and beyond.
Had to recreate that scene from the movie. You know, it's funny how big and intimidating they make Zurg out to be, but honestly, I mean, actually, any of these bosses, they're such formidable foes to a toy, but in reality, I mean, you could just punt them like halfway across the field and just So with that boss out of the way, we knocked out another set of levels, and now we're on to the last 3 levels of the game. This is the first one, Airport Infiltration. We'll be tackling this next time. I'll see you guys then.
Go jump on it.